Let's go to the culture region here. Scott, your picks. You had Phipps Conservatory over the Mattress Factory. You also had the Kaufman's Clock over the Cathedral of Learning as a West Virginia grad.
You're happy about
I'm
that?
happy
Yeah.
about that one. But let's go. This was a tough one. The Thunderbolt versus the Incline. What was the thinking behind going with the Incline?
I went with the Incline because I'm a huge Thunderbolt, 1920s, still a wooden roller coaster, but the Incline has been there since the 1870s, in operation ever since. And how many times do people take the Incline up to Mount Washington to get that quintessential view of Pittsburgh? So I went with the older history over the younger history.
All right. You also have Three Rivers Stadium going over the Civic Arena, which I think is probably going to be an upset given the history of the arena's roof.
Well, here's what I did with that. I did two teams versus one team.
Oh, see, that's well thought out.
Yeah, I went Pirates and Steelers over the Penguins because I spent 2/3 of my time at Three Rivers, 1/3 of my time at Civic Arena.
Plus 6 championships won in
a lot
Three
of
Rivers
championships.
Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't get the love it deserves.
Well, I didn't like the building itself, but I like
great
watching the
name
teams
though. It's a great
Three-
name. Like
it
that was a
is.
great name for a stadium.
And there was no advertising dollars going behind it like
just
there is today.
There's Three Rivers, there's a stadium.
Exactly.
Three Rivers Stadium. All right, so continuing Scott Harbaugh's bracket forecasting here. We've got the parking chair and Mr. Yuck. You went with Mr. Yuck, which pleased me.
Mr. Yuck is mean, Mr. Yuck is green.
And I hate the parking chair.
It's not really my thing either. I'm a Pittsburgher.
Right. Okay, and then in what is sure to be, I would say, your most controversial pick.
I love this pick.
It's
my favorite pick.
The Pittsburgh Zoo jobbing to the furries.
Yeah, I love the furries. I admit it. I have probably on Twitter about 400 furries that follow me. I give them forecasts when they're in town every year for 4th of July. I love what it does to the city because whether you think the furries are great or you think the furries have problems, you still are talking about the furries every July.
Can't you just be in the camp of they are great and have problems?
I think that's where I pretty much lie. Yeah.
So, bridges over tunnels. I like that because you come out of a tunnel when you go into a bridge.
Yeah, there's more bridges than tunnels.
Yeah, absolutely. And then KDKA Radio over WQED, two legendary outlets. Why did you go with KDKA Radio over QED?
The older of the two. I mean, KDKA Radio, 1920, the original radio station. I understand QED was the original public television station, but KDKA Radio got it all started. Nothing else would have happened if KDKA Radio wasn't there.
No, and I know you're a huge Pirate fan, so that relationship.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go over round 2. The matchups, Scott, based off your picks. We've got Phipps Conservatory versus the Kaufman's Clock, the Incline versus Three Rivers Stadium, Mr. Yuck and the Furries. That's a dynamite round 2.
That's fantastic.
And then Bridges versus KDKA Radio. Do you have a favorite coming out of this
the Furries
region?
are my dark horse, without a doubt, or my dark fox, or my dark squirrel, or dark rabbit, or whatever they are.
So you've got Batman versus the Furries basically in the final 4.
Would that be fantastic?
Oh, that would be great. That would be, or Beetlejuice versus the Furries. So
Beetlejuice and the Furries would be awesome.
Right.